Hi guys, welcome back to the Shawna Show podcast. Today's video is going to be a review of Love Island episode 9. So as we all know, we know the new girl has come in, and I guess today we're kind of seeing whose head was going to be turned. I think we all kind of knew Callum's head was going to be turned, but I guess this was kind of to establish whether Rebbeca was going to be into Callum or whether anyone else's head was going to turn. Regular Connor, who's all about Sophie, seems very happy to go on a date, and maybe he was, obviously him and Sophie get back together, but I'm thinking maybe he was just happy to feel wanted after, being put out by Sophie for a bit. Callum is obviously very happy, but Shawna smells a rat, but the girls try and reassure her, but I feel like she knows what's up. And Sophie basically says that, she's sure about her feelings and that she likes regular Colin now, and that they have a strong connection, and that he's changed, he's not moving mad anymore. And I'm just like, girl. Because the thing is, of course he's not moving mad, because he has the incentive of her being in bed with a 6-foot hunk. So of course he's not going to move mad so that he pushes her away. Of course he's going to be on his best behaviour. But best believe when he secures Sophie again, he's going to start moving mad again. And she's only going to have herself to blame for picking him. Hot Connor and Sophie dream is over. I've made my peace with that. She just doesn't have great taste in men. Maybe she'll see the light. I'm not rooting for regular Connor and Sophie. It is what it is. Regular Connor goes on a date with Rebbeca. We find out she's 21. She definitely doesn't look it. She looks a little bit older. From their conversation, it just kind of feels like they're quite friendly with each other. I don't think that she'd be attracted to him. I don't really think he could be a contender in the race for Rebecca's interest. Shawna pulls Callum for a talk before his date, and he's just being very vague and very shady. She's asking him questions like, oh, what do you think of her? And she's saying how she's worried about, her stealing him and stuff like that, or she's worried about his feelings towards her. And I'm just like, this is just rookie behavior. You can't be telling the boy that you're interested in that you're worried about him being interested in other girls. It's just coming off as very insecure, and I want more for Shawna, and she keeps doing it, and I'm not sure if it's entertaining anymore. But obviously she asked him outright if he called Rebbeca hot, which he denies, which I think is technically true. I think the words that he actually used was fit, so it was quite cheeky him denying that, knowing full well in his head he was thinking about his date with Rebbeca. But yeah, I feel like Shawna isn't buying it, but then it's like she keeps pressing him. So I'm just like, I just feel like Shawna just needs to let it go. She knows deep down that this boy, he has a wandering willy, he's not going to commit to her. So she just needs to rip the band-aid off and just start looking for another candidate. Hot Connor's looking like he's going to be free. Maybe she should look that way. Then Callum goes on a date with Rebbeca. He's enjoying the date. He's calling her beautiful. He's saying she's got nice hair. He's complimenting her. So it's very clear that Callum is interested in Rebbeca. See, Rebecca's doing it how Shawna should be doing it, and how Shawna should be looking at her strategy. Rebecca's playing it cool. She's saying, she's interested in getting to know everyone, and she's not afraid to steal anyone's man, but she's not telling Callum directly that she wants him, so that he can now wonder in his brain what he has to do to secure that spot. And that's how Shawna should be playing it. But to be fair, Rebecca's a good-looking girl. I feel like she's the best-looking girl in the house, I think. She has that confidence, while Shawna is not believing in her source and is just looking very desperate. But yeah, I feel like she probably does have interest in Callum. I think she probably does, but as I say, she's playing it cool, she's playing it smart, and Callum definitely has an interest in her. Obviously, when they come back from the date, she introduces herself to everyone, but you can instantly tell that Shawna is pressed, because she's talking, she's touching her face unprovoked, and usually to me, when girls who feel threatened by you start touching you and invading your personal space, they are extra pressed. She kept doing this thing throughout the thing when she was talking to her, saying, oh, I'm only joking, not joking. I'm only joking, not joking. And it just reeked of desperation. So then, obviously, next day, Rebecca's making the rounds of all the guys that, she could potentially be interested in. So she starts off talking to Callum again, and she's barefaced. Obviously, she won like a barefaced competition, and she won a trip to the Mauritius. And I can see why her bare face won her a trip to the Mauritius, because she looks gorgeous, and I think she actually looks a lot younger without the makeup. Then obviously after that, Shawna's there spying from the balcony like a weirdo. Directly after Rebecca's conversation with Callum, what does Shawna do? Does she play it cool? No, she doesn't. She goes over to Rebecca to speak to her and basically try and figure out if she likes Callum or not. And again with this, oh, joking, not joking. And then basically Rebecca basically says, she's getting to know everyone, and that she wouldn't pick anyone who she didn't think liked her. And then Shawna again with the sly dig saying, well, you're going to be fighting a losing battle then. For me, I just feel like Shawna's strategy is not correct if she doesn't want someone to steal your man. Because at this point, you're being shady, you're being very sly. At this point, you're agitating Rebecca, and she could be well within her rights to be like, okay, bet. If you want to be petty, I can be petty back. I'm going to steal your man, and I'm not going to feel any type of way about it. So at this point, I don't really know what Shawna's doing. The insecurity is getting to her, and I'm just not really liking it. I'm not liking this for Shawna, and I feel like at her age, she should know better. And then another thing that Shawna was saying in the episode was that she said that her life would be easier if she fancied Nast. So now I don't understand why she's now throwing Nast under the bus, what he has to do with this. Like, what is she trying to say? I feel like that was a sly dig at Nast, like basically saying that she doesn't find him attractive. And it's just like, I just feel like she should just wallow in her own insecurity by herself. I don't understand why she's now bringing Nast into it and putting Nast down after she was hyping him up the last episode. It just feels like people think they can use Nast as a punching bag. But anyway, Rebecca starts speaking to Hot Connor, and just like instantly you can see there's a better spark than whatever Sophie and Hot Connor had going on. Even though I was kind of rooting for her because I wanted Sophie to escape Connor, obviously we know she's made that choice now. And, they start speaking. Connor basically says that he's not really sure about Sophie. He kind of feels like she's more interested in the other Connor. And then Rebecca spills the tea that regular Connor and Sophie had a little smooch after the challenge last night. But obviously after that, Sophie and Connor have a little speak to iron things out and like let each other things go. And it's looking like it's going to be like rather amicable. But then, I don't know why. I guess maybe he's feeling petty, or maybe he just wanted like clarification. He wanted her to be honest, because she didn't tell him last night. He asked her about the kiss, and Sophie just outright lies. And he basically calls her out and is like, are you sure you didn't? Are you sure you didn't? Because I was told that you were. And she tried to lie, then she tried to say it was a peck, and she tried to cover it up. And she knew herself that she was caught in a lie. And he just kept digging further and further and was just like, you know what, you didn't have to lie to me, like, why are you lying? Like, I can take it and stuff like that. And obviously Sophie's just laughing in the confessional like, why did I even lie in the first place? And I'm not really sure why Connor dug into that, if he was over the situation. Maybe he has this thing where he doesn't like to be lied to. But yeah, that was quite funny. To the round, Sophie wants to be with Connor, that's that situation. And then obviously next was the challenge, and obviously there was some developments in the challenge. Shanice chose to suck Connor's earlobe, so I guess Shanice is still interested in him. I hope that she doesn't get him. I hope Rebecca chooses Connor, because I just don't want to see Sophie and Connor together. Shanice doesn't deserve Connor. Nast chooses to kiss Rebecca, and then the confessional, Rebecca says that Naz is cute, so that's all we need to know. Naz is not going to get anywhere with Rebecca. Back to the drawing board with Naz. Shawna says that Mike has the biggest game plan in the house, which I think is true, and Mike isn't happy about it. He's just like, oh, why did she have to pick me? Like, it was just awkward after. And he was like, oh, it was silent after. And I feel like it was silent after because I think that's what everyone's kind of thinking. And I feel like he was shook because he didn't think that anyone was going to be onto him. But, we're onto him, Shawna's onto him, and probably the rest of the house is onto him as well. And then obviously Rebecca gets to choose two guys to kiss, and she chooses to kiss Hot Connor and Callum, and both of them were lingering kisses. Like, obviously Connor's single, so he can kiss whoever he wants, but Callum, he didn't even move to a cheek or nothing, you know. He was enjoying that kiss, and he didn't care that Shawna was there at the side looking at him. So obviously Shawna is not happy. She's saying, why would you do that when, she knows he's in a stable couple? And I'm just like, Shawna, what did you actually expect? You were bullying her early in the episode. What do you think she was going to do? Of course she was going to be petty. And that's what I suspected, Rebecca can easily take your man, so why would you provoke her? Sorry, you brought that on yourself. And then obviously now she's crying about it. And you know what? I don't feel sorry for Shawna. I actually don't. But does anyone feel sorry for Shawna? I feel like we all saw it coming, and she's brought it on herself now. I don't know why. What is so special? I don't know what is so special about Callum that she's so deeply emotionally invested in him. So obviously in the first look, Mike basically says that he's got some doubts, I'm guessing, about Leanne, and Callum is getting close to Rebecca, and of course Shawna is just continuing to be upset about it. That is interesting about Mike. I've heard a lot of speculation. I've heard a lot of speculation from you guys about, him not really that being into Leanne, and now this new girl's coming in, now he's saying he has doubts. It's just looking very fishy. But what do you guys think? And then obviously with Callum and Rebecca, I'm not really sure if I'm going to enjoy an episode of Shawna complaining for a whole hour. I'm not really sure if I'm going to enjoy that. On Twitter, obviously people are just laughing at the fact that Sophie fully tried to lie. People are upset about Mike possibly not liking Leanne and the possible breakup of Mike and Leanne. People are obviously not happy about Mike saying he has doubts. A lot of support for Naz on the timeline. People are finding it hard to see what Shawna sees in Callum. Me too. Mike is upset because Shawna told the truth. There's some appreciation for Paige. Paige, I don't really not like her, but I don't really like her either. I feel like she's just kind of like a background character. But what do you guys think about Paige? But yeah, that's pretty much the roundup of the tweets for this episode. For those of you wondering, my handle is @shannonbafundilaenquiries. The link is in the bio. Let me know what you thought of this episode, and let me know what you thought of this podcast. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and if you have subscribed, don't forget to keep your notification bell on so you'll know when the next podcast is dropping. Until next time, guys, bye!